千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together.
Once there was a boy who went to the Tao sage for advice. He said, "Master, I have a really bad temper. I am constantly arguing and fighting with friends and family. Afterwards, I'll regret it, but at the time it happens, I cannot control it. What should I do?" So the sage instructed the boy to get a bag of nails. Specifically, the boy's instructions were that every time he got into another one of his arguments or fights, he had to take out a nail and hammer it into the wooden fence in his yard. Okay, that's simple enough. The boy could do that. Initially, the boy found that he was hammering quite a few nails every day. After a while, it became gradually less and less nails as he learned to control his temper better and better. He definitely discovered that it was actually easier to control himself than to hammer nails. So his progress continued until one day he went through an entire day without having to hammer any nails at all. So very happy, he reported this to the sage. The sage said, "Well, good. This is a very important turning point. From this point on, when you spend an entire day without having to hammer any nails, you will earn the right to pull out one nail. Let me know when all the nails are out of the fence." So this took quite a bit longer because sometimes the boy fell back on his old habits. He would raise his voice. He would get red in the face. Whenever that happened, some nails would get hammered into the fence, and it would take additional days of peaceful control for those nails to be pulled back out. Finally, after months and months of effort, the boy did it. All the nails were out of the fence. So again, very happy, he reported this to the sage. The sage said, "You did well, but let's take a look at the fence together now." The sage said, "Look at all the holes you made when you hammered the nails. These holes will always be around, even after you've pulled out the nails. It's just like that when you argue or fight with someone. Invariably, you cause some kind of damage in that person's heart, like the hole driven by the nail. Later on, no matter how you apologize, the nail may be pulled out, but the hole, like the wound of a stabbing knife, remains. It never heals perfectly. The knife wound leaves a scar behind." Now, the sage says, you see the reality of conflict. Before the conflict, during the conflict, and after. You can see it's not enough just to avoid losing your temper. You must also live your life better, more harmoniously all around to not only avoid arguing and fighting, but also promote peace and harmony. The end. So everyone, I hope we can see how this bears upon the point that Lao Tzu makes. War is hell, and part of that misery and suffering continues on after the battle is done. So no matter how you pull out the nails, the holes remain. The best way to go in accordance with the Tao, as this chapter and the previous chapter both make clear, is to never attempt to dominate others in the first place. So lastly, I want to challenge you before we leave the story. I want to challenge everyone to look around at your own fence. Yeah, that wooden fence in the yard within. So how many nails are there? How many have you been able to pull out, leaving holes behind? I want to challenge you to take a look at that, and then perhaps come to the same realization as the boy, that next time you want to avoid hammering a nail, driving a hole deep into the wooden fence. That's the primary concept behind this story.
Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Let us travel safely. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.